All right, so this is our quiz review. These are similar questions to what the quiz might look like, so let's go ahead and get started. So number one, if you want to evaluate h of negative 2, so it's an h function, so we're going to go to the h function, and we're going to plug in negative 2 for the x. So 2 minus, and then because I'm going to have to do something with that x, I'm going to put it in parentheses so that I make sure I cube all of that thing right there. So when I do negative 2 raised to the third power, so keep in mind what that means. It means negative 2 times negative 2 times negative 2, which makes positive 4, and then times another negative 2 makes negative 8. So now I've still got 2 minus, and now this I got to replace with negative 8, which really makes 2 plus 8, which is 10. All right, so let's do f of 4. So now I'm going to go to the f function, and I'm going to plug in 4. So I've got a square root, 5 times 4 plus 4. So 5 times 4 is 20, plus 4 is 24. And then we do want to reduce the radical whenever possible. So 4 and 6, 2 and 2, 2 and 3 makes 2, because that's the double, square roots of 6. Okay. All right, let's do number 3, g of x minus 2. So we're going to go to the g equation. We're going to plug in x minus 2. So g of x minus 2 is equal to x minus 2 squared plus 6 x minus 2 minus 3. All right, so this thing right here means that I need to do x minus 2 times itself. So that's going to make x squared minus 2x plus 4. All right, so I've got this red is going to become x squared minus 2x plus 4. So that was all of that red. Go ahead and distribute this 6 to the x and to the minus 2. So that's plus 6x minus 12. And then we still have minus 3. All right, so let's combine like terms. X squared is the only x squared. Minus 2x makes minus 4x. And I've got plus 6x, so positive 2x. 4 minus 12 is negative 8, so minus 11. Okay, all right, 4 through 7, these want you to find the domain. So this is number 4. We see a square root symbol. So the rule for square roots is that square roots have to be greater than or equal to 0. So 3 minus 2x is greater than or equal to 0. Subtract 3. So negative 2x is greater than or equal to negative 3. And divide by negative 2. So when you divide by that negative, it is going to flip the inequality, and it's going to become positive 3/2. So we've got a closed circle, and we're going to go to the left. So that's from negative infinity to 3/2. Okay. All right, number 5. Now this one's a more complicated one because I've got this denominator thing. So this is where we kind of think of these as individual things. 3x plus 5, when I first look at that, has no restrictions. And that's all I have to do on the top. On the bottom, I look at 2x minus 7. It also has no restrictions. But because it's in the denominator, we have to do that extra step of saying the denominator is not allowed to be 0. So now I've got to say 2x minus 7 is not equal to 0. And that's the only restriction that this is going to have. So x cannot be 7 halves, or 3.5 if you prefer. So I got an open circle here, but anything else is okay. So that's negative infinity to 7 halves, union 7 halves to positive infinity. All right, let's come over to 6. 6, this is what's called a polynomial. And polynomials have no restriction, therefore this is negative infinity to infinity. Okay, lastly, number 7. So I look at number 7. 2x plus 1, that causes no restriction. Square root, we know, has to be greater than or equal to 0. But then because it's in the denominator, I say the denominator cannot equal 0. When you put these two things together, we got to take away that or equal to. So x minus 5 must be greater than 0. So x has to be greater than 5. So that is 5 to infinity, not including 5. Okay? All right, let's go on to page 2. All right, so page 2, number 8, starts with our piecewise function. So I'll do this first equation in red. So I'm going to start with 2, and I'm going to remind myself really quickly, that's going to be an open circle because it is not equal to. And then I want to do numbers that are less than 2, so that's going to be 1, 0, -1, -2. Hopefully that's good enough. You really want to be able to see the U shape of a quadratic, so if you can see the U shape, you're good. If not, you might want to continue on down, but that's probably going to be okay. Let's go ahead and just finish this table. It doesn't matter the order you go. So when I plug in 2, I get 2 squared, which is 4, plus 3, which is 7. So when I plug in 1, 1 squared is 1, plus 3 is 4. 0 squared plus 3. -1 squared is positive 1, plus 3 is 4. -2 squared is positive 4, plus 3 is 7. Let's go ahead and even graph them. So 2 comma 7, 1, 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Make sure you put in that open dot. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Let me put that a little bit better. This is so 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, what else? 1, 4. So 1, 1, 2, 3, 4. 0, 3. -1, 4. Is that all I did? Nope, I did the -2, 7. So you can kind of see the symmetry going on here, which is good. All right, and that open circle, that's going to be, it's going to look just like that. So that's the points that I have so far. Remember that this has an arrow going to the left, but only going to the left because it's showing the less than. So far, I've done only that red equation. Now let's do the blue equation, the second equation. So now I've got x minus 3 for all the x's greater than or equal to 2. So 2, 3, 4, 5, that's probably good. 2 minus 3 is negative 1. 3 minus 3 is 0, 1, 2. So 2, negative 1. Closed. Oh, if you want to remind yourself, that's a closed circle because of the or equal to. Really the one that's most, I mean, you kind of assume closed. It's just that one that's going to be an open circle. Connect. There we go. That's going to be the answer that you're looking for. That whole thing is the answer. So when I grade this, I'm looking at the graph. There's not really, I mean, the graph is the answer. It's not a number answer. All right, number 9. Find the equation of the line containing the points 5, negative 2 and negative 1, negative 6. So if I do my slope formula, rise over run, so 6 minus negative 2, negative 1 minus 5 is 8 over negative 6, and that is negative 4/3. Okay, and now I also want I want to find the equation. So, I mean, that's going to be y equals mx plus b. So now I've officially got a point and a slope I want to go through. So my point slope formula is y minus y1 equals mx minus x1. So y minus negative 2 equals 5. X minus, I'm sorry, m is not 5. M is negative 4/3. It's the x1 that's 5. So y plus 2 equals negative 4/3 x plus 20/3. And then we'll subtract 2 with a common denominator is 6 over 3 to make 14. So y equals negative 4/3 x plus 14/3. Okay. All right, let's do this. Number 10, find the equation of the line containing the point. So very similar. We start off the same. y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. So what I realize happens is I get a 0 in the denominator. This causes an undefined slope. And which of our lines is undefined? That's Vux. So this is going to be a vertical line. It has an undefined slope. It's an x equals. And look at both your points. They both have negative 2. Okay? Just to double check that, if you wanted to do a really quick graph, negative 2, 1, and negative 2, negative 5, if you connect those points, it is indeed a vertical line. So that does make sense. All right, and then lastly, what is the slope of the line y equals 8? Now, oops, I'm sorry, this is an example of Hoy, which says my slope is 0.